Islam's been able to maintain its original form since well, it was creation. It's 2008 now, and women are still being beheaded. Uh, People who convert to Christianity are still being killed. Children are being honor killed, if there's such a term as that makes any sense and doesn't make you throw up when you think about it. It hasn't really changed much. The notion that somehow cheeseburgers and blue jeans and Best Buy is going to make any difference is ludicrous. Sure, they're going to have their iPods and they're going to have stupid little headsets like this, and they're going to be looking at laptops like what I've got, but the thing of the matter is nothing is going to change. Why should it? It's not a religion. It's a system. Sure, they have their own God. They call him Allah. Actually, that's just a perverted word that means an Arabic moon god. It's not the God of Abraham. It has nothing to do with Christ. If it was, why would they say that they're supposed to kill Christians and Jews? Why would their books say that the very trees and stones, rocks, are going to scream, "Here, there's a Jew behind me. Come and kill him, old Muslim"? That doesn't make sense. How can it be the same? Are you telling me that my God, are you saying that the God of Abraham is schizophrenic? Because he'd have to be schizophrenic. But I get off on a tangent there. The point of the matter is today, in 2008, nothing's changed from when that is to say, Muhammad created this false religion. Nothing. The only thing that's different is the fact that, well, Islam was stymied for a few decades. They couldn't continue the jihad. Thankfully, the SUV came along, and nowadays they're getting a lot of money. Saudi Arabia, Bush's buddies, they're pumping money into the mosques here. They're spreading the Salafist word. The mosques inside the United States as well as Europe are teaching things, for example, that the Muslims are part of the Ummah. They're not part of the countries they live in, they're part of an Ummah. That is to say, the world of the Muslim. They're supposed to live here but not become part of us. They're not Americans, they're separate. They're not Europeans, they're separate. What makes you think that's going to change? Hundreds of years, it hasn't changed. They've been in different countries, it hasn't changed. Technology's not going to change that. Now, I'm not saying, and I don't think anybody here has actually said, or actually, actually meant to drag anybody out and kill them. Nobody. That's not even us. That's not the way we do things. And to even suggest that anybody here actually said that or even meant it is ridiculous. Doesn't nobody want to drag children out and slaughter them in the streets? Why would we want to do that? However, we do have a responsibility and an obligation to our children, our future, to ensure that this Christian nation has the ability to survive. That means fight them. That doesn't mean necessarily put a gun to somebody's head and blow their brains out, but it does mean to fight them. It means to meet them in the courts, meet CAIR in the court, meet the propagandists everywhere you find them. It means meet them in the editorials of the newspapers. It means meet them on message boards. There are different ways of fighting the Muslims because they're fighting us in different ways. It didn't work the last time when they attacked Europe with the sword. They got beat back. They got beat all the way back to Jerusalem, which, by the way, they stole Jerusalem. Nothing. They have nothing. Have had nothing. It was created in Mecca. He got his butt kicked out of there, went to Medina, and had a message of peace up until he had enough of people and enough of power where he could spread the word by the sword. He was stymied when he tried to go into Europe. Got his butt beat back. It's the facts. He had to sit still for, well, I say he, the religion, the system had to sit still for a while, but now that we're pumping money into Saudi Arabia is pumping money into mosques, and the word's getting spread all over the place, not just America, but into Pakistan, Afghanistan, Europe, into Asia. We're in trouble. Meanwhile, we're being stupefied by the liberals. We have to assume that everybody's the same. Their word is just as important as our word. Their belief is on the same par as our belief. Bullcrap. That'll work fine in Saudi Arabia. Oh, by the way, Saudi Arabia, where Christians aren't allowed, if you switch to Christianity, you will be beheaded. Come on. Come on. We're supposed to afford these people the same rights that they will not afford their own people? Quit being suckered It doesn't make sense. Nobody here is saying to go and kill all Muslims, but let's understand one thing. The religion hasn't changed, the system hasn't changed, and they're not going to change. We're not going to make them change. If there is a change, they'll have to do it themselves. Meanwhile, we would be stupid to sit back and wait for them to make the change as they're advancing throughout the world. Because why would anybody want to change when they're advancing? Doesn't make sense. When you're winning, you don't want to throw in a towel. Unless you're a liberal. I don't think they're liberals.